looking at the eye in this presentation. So we want to know the structure of the eye. We want to look at the different parts the eye has and what are their roles, and then we'll look at how images are formed. Okay, so that's what we are going to look at in this presentation. The eye helps us in seeing. We can call that seeing, vision. It helps us in vision, or you can use the word, if I can write it here, sight. Okay, helps in sight. Okay, or vision. So if you see those words, that's what they mean. They relate to the eye in biology. So we use the eyes for vision, and the eyes are found, of course, as they are found in the sockets, what you call on the skull. Okay, your brain is covered by the skull. Okay, so within the skull we have sockets where the eyeballs are found. So we call those sockets orbits. That's the word here. These are orbits. Okay, so the eyes do not the eyes don't get in contact with the bony socket. They are fatty material or pads that cushion or protect it from getting into contact directly with the bony sockets. So that's what we have there. So the eyes, you can move your eyes. If you decide to look this way, the eyes will move. If you want to look this side, they will move. So that movement is because of muscles. Okay, muscles. So the muscles help in moving the eyes, whether you want to look up, whether you want to look down. So we have muscles that pull the eyes to sideways, upwards, downwards. Okay, so that is about the eye movement. So superficially, when we say superficially, we are meaning what you see on the surface. Okay, what is on the surface? When you look at the eye, you see that you have the lashes, which are this hair, and then you have the eyelid, the skin that covers the eyeball. Okay, and then inside the skin you have the conjunctiva, the inner part of the eyelid, so to call the conjunctiva. Okay, that's what you see. And then you have the eyebrows. Okay, this part here, it's the eyebrow, is exactly here. And then we have the tear glands this side. Okay, the tear glands, you can find them there. And then of course the eyelashes, the eyebrows, and the eyelids help in protecting the eyes from foreign bodies. Okay, things like the dust particles cannot enter the eye because of the structures that I've just mentioned. So let's look at the structures here, the inner structure. Okay, the eye one. So in this diagram, of course, when you will be asked in the exams, you will most likely be asked using an image which is closer to this one here. Okay, so if you're drawing, perhaps you draw this image here in your books. So however, this one also gives us a clear understanding of the structures of the eye. So let's go through the structures here. Let's start from down here. So this outer layer here, the outermost outer membrane. It is a layer of membrane that protects the eye. Okay, the outer wall is the outermost wall of the eye. Okay, so it offers protection and it is called the sclera. Okay, the sclera is the outermost layer that protects the eye. And then the front part, what you see on the outside is called the cornea. Okay, it's the front part of the eye, and it plays an important role in focusing the light rays. When we talk about focusing, we are basically referring to what we call refraction. Which is basically bending the light rays such that you have the light rays landing on the right place on the retina. So the retina, which is here, is the part, this yellow part here, is the part that has what we call the photoreceptors. So these, of course, you already know the definition for receptors. Yes. Okay. The definition for receptors. Receptors help in detecting the stimuli. Okay, detect the stimuli and convert the stimuli into electrical impulses that can now be transmitted to the brain. So we already know that we have different types of receptors. That means that different receptors can be able to detect different stimuli. Basically what we are saying here is that you cannot have a particular receptor being sensitive to more than one stimuli. Okay, each receptor is made for a particular stimulus. Okay, so if for the case of vision, the cells that are responsible, that are acting as receptors, are the ones we call the photoreceptors, and under that we have what we call the rods and the cones. So the rods and the cones are the two types of photoreceptors. They are used in different situations. So for the rods, if you can remember this, the rods, you relate them with the cat. The cat can be able to see in dark areas or in darkness. Okay, it has the cat has good vision in darkness because it has more rods than the cones. So this is to say that the rods are good for vision in dark areas, on dark environments. Okay, so when we have more light, then we use what you call the cones. The cones are the ones that you use when you have enough light. Okay, so humans have more cones than the rods, and therefore we can see well in light but not in darkness like the cats. Okay, so that is something that you need to note there. And then also we have another point that we need to talk about that is not well illustrated here. We can check the second image here. Yes, related to still related to just here. related to the retina, we have a point called the fovea here. It's a yellow spot. That point is very, very important because it contains many cones. So the concentration of cones around that point are very many. Okay, we have very many cones there, and therefore you can easily get the clearest picture when the right rays are focused on the cone. Okay, so that is another point that you need to be aware about. So we move to also to the optic. Here we have the optic nerve. The optic nerve is basically is what carries the electrical impulses to the brain for interpretation. Remember that in coordination, our focus usually is that you have stimuli. This is detected by receptors, and then from the receptors you have the impulses that follow. So the message is carried in form of impulses. So we are saying that the message is carried to the brain using the optic nerve. Okay, so when you see an object, the rays from the object enter your eye and then land onto the retina, and then the photoreceptors convert that the light rays into electrical impulses, and these electrical impulses are transmitted using the optic nerve. Okay, so we can see that there are fibers that converge to form the optic nerve. So the point where they converge and exit the eye is what we call the blind spot. Okay, the blind spot is the point at which the optic nerve actually exits. So all these different fibers converge to form the optic nerve. Okay, so that is that there, and then we come to, of course, the front part. We already talked about it. We said that this white part, the front part of the eye, is what we call the cornea and plays an important role in refraction. And then we have the iris. Okay, the iris is a ring of muscle that can vary in color. So you see some people's eyes are brown, others are dark. Okay, that dark part or that brown part is because of the iris. It is just basically a ring of muscle. Okay, so it also plays an important role in controlling the amount of light that enters the eye. And then the pupil is the hole at the center of the iris. Okay, this also has a role in controlling the amount of light that enters. And then we need to look at two parts that are very important in our subsequent lesson. What we call the ciliary muscles. Okay, the ciliary muscle in this image here, they are connected to the lens, which is this is the lens, and then that connection is not a direct connection. It is through suspensory ligaments. So these two parts, or three, we'll look at them more closely and in how they help in focusing and adjusting the lens such that an image can be properly formed in the retina for clear vision. So though that is the ciliary body, and the ciliary body, yes, and the ciliary muscles, and then the suspensory ligaments. and then the lens. So we'll see how the three interact to give you that clear image. Okay, so in here I want to emphasize that we have three layers that actually form the eye wall. The outermost one is the one we talked about, the sclera. The one in the middle is the choroid, and then the retina, which we have spent some good time talking about. Okay, and then we can talk about the eye in terms of chambers, and these chambers are filled with fluid. So let's come back to this image here. So you see this clear place. This is fluid. This fluid is what we call the vitreous humor. Okay, that is the vitreous humor, and then there is also fluid in front here, in front of the lens. That fluid is called the aqueous humor. Okay, so it's important for you to note those fluids, the one in front and then the one behind. This vitreous humor is the one behind, aqueous humor is the one in front of the lens. Okay, so this transparent gel-like substances occupies the behind part of the actually occupies the most part of the eye, and it has many functions. It helps in it of course protects, obviously protects the innermost parts of the eye and helps to keep it in shape. The protection is by cushion. If pressure is applied to it, it allows, you see, fluids are not compressible, so there is that resistance that it offers. So that cushion that we are talking about, that is how it protects the eye. And then it is transparent. That means that it can allow the light to go through. That is very important. And also it provides support for the lens. That's important to note. Yeah, so those are the functions of that fluid. What we are saying is fluid, much of it is basically water, but we also have collagen fiber there and some cells. The retina, we have talked about the two types of photoreceptors there. The blind spot is where the nerves leave or exit the eye, so we don't have any photoreceptors there. So if an image if the rays are converging to the blind spot, you cannot see the image. That's very important to note. So how do we detect light and then be able to focus the image on the retina? That's the last thing we are going to look at. We're saying that when you're seeing an object, the light rays come and enter into your eye. So when they enter, the light rays have to be refracted. If they're not refracted, it is difficult for focusing to take place. Focusing, that means that making sure that the rays can actually can converge at a point such that the image is formed. Okay, so focusing is very important. So refraction allows that to happen. So refraction happens at the cornea. The cornea plays an important role. The lens, even the aqueous and the vitreous humor, all these contribute in the reflection of light rays. Okay, so that is something you need to keep in mind, that if they ask you about which structures can contribute to refraction of light rays in the eyes, you should be able to know. Or which of the following cannot contribute to refraction of the light rays in the human eye, you should be able to know. So that refraction is very important, such that a clear image is actually formed. If you cannot form, if there are problems in refraction, then you'll not be able to see clear images. So that becomes a disorder. Okay, so the image that will be formed on the retina will be upside down. Okay, upside down, because there is that the rays from the top go down, and then the rays from the bottom go up. So if you're looking at a pen, the pen, this is the pen. That means that if this is the pen that you use for writing, and this is the other end. Okay, so on the retina, the pen, the top part, what was top here comes down, if this is A, and then this is A here, and then B would be B here. This is what we are saying, that the image will be upside down, okay, because the rays will be like this, something like that. And then, so when the rays go and they converge on the retina has the photoreceptor cells that will be converting the light stimulation or the light stimuli into electrical impulses that are sent to the brain for interpretation. Basically, this is what we are saying here. So this part, if we are saying that this is A, the A will be here. If this is B, B will be here. The image will be formed upside down, okay? But it will be formed clearly on the retina. So that marks the end of our presentation on the eye. We have looked at the different parts of the eye and their function. Thank you.